Kind gentlemen, will you be patient a while? Aye, and then you shall hear anon a very good ballad of bold Robin Hood and of his man brave Little John. In Locksley town in Nottinghamshire, in merry sweet Locksley town, there bold Robin Hood he was born and was bred, bold Robin of famous renown. The father of Robin a forester was, and he shot in a lusty long bow 2 north country miles and an inch at a shot, as the Pinder of Wakefield does know. For he brought Adam Bell and Clym of the Clough and William MacLeod Lee to shoot with our forester 440 mark, and the foresters beat them all 3. His mother was niece to the Coventry knight, which Warwickshire men call Sir Guy, for he slew the blue boar that hangs up at the gate, or mine host of the Bull tells a lie. Her brother was Gamwell of Great Gamwell Hall, and a noble housekeeper was he, as ever broke bread in sweet Nottinghamshire, and a squire of famous degree. The mother of Robin said to her husband, my honey, my love, and my dear, let Robin and I ride this morning to Gamwell to taste of my brother's good cheer. And he said, I grant thee thy boon, gentle Joan, take one of my horses, I pray. The sun is a-rising, and therefore make haste, for tomorrow is Christmas Day. Then Robin Hood's father's grey gelding was brought, and saddled and bridled was he. God, what a blue bonnet, his new suit of clothes, and a cloak that did reach to his knee. She got on her holiday kirtle and gown, they were of a light Lincoln green. The cloth was homespun, but for colour and make it might have beseemed our queen. Then Robin got on his basket-hilt sword, and his dagger on his other side, and he said, my dear mother, let's haste to be gone, we have 40 long miles to ride. When Robin had mounted his gelding so grey, his father without any trouble set her up behind him and bade her not fear, for his gelding had oft carried double. And when she was settled they rode to their neighbours, and drank and shook hands with them all. And then Robin galloped and never gave o'er, till they lighted at Gamwell Hall. And now you may think the right worshipful squire was joyful his sister to see, for he kissed her and swore a great oath, thou art welcome, kind sister, to me. Tomorrow, when mass had been said in the chapel, 6 tables were covered in the hall, and in comes the squire and makes a short speech. It was, neighbours, you're welcome all, but not a man here shall taste my March beer till a Christmas carol be sung. Then all clapped their hands and they shouted and sung, till the hall and the parlour did ring. Now mustards, brawn, roast beef and plum pies were set upon every table, and noble George Gamwell said, eat and be merry, and drink to as long as you're able. When dinner was ended his chaplain said grace, and be merry my friends, said the squire, it rains and it blows, but call for more ale, and lay some more wood on the fire. Now call ye Little John hither to me, for Little John is a fine lad, at gambles and juggling and 20 such tricks that shall make you merry and glad. When Little John came to gambles they went, both gentleman, yeoman and clown, and what do you think? Why, as true as I live, bold Robin Hood put them all down. And now you may think the right worshipful squire was joyful this sight for to see, for he said, cousin Robin, thou'st go no more home, but tarry and dwell here with me. Thou shalt have my land when I die, until then thou shalt be the staff of my age. Then grant me my boon, dear uncle, said Robin, that little John may be my page. And he said, kind cousin, I grant thee thy boon with all my heart, so let it be. Then come hither, little John, said Robin Hood, come hither, my page, unto me. Go fetch me my bow, my longest long bow, and broad arrows 1, 2, or 3. And when it's fair weather, we'll into Sherwood some merry pastime to see. When Robin Hood came into merry Sherwood, he whined at his bugle so clear, and twice 5 and 20 good yeomen and bold before Robin Hood did appear. Where are your companions all, said Robin Hood, for still I want 40 and 3. Then said a bold yeoman, lo yonder they stand, all under a greenwood tree. As that word was spoke, Clorinda came by, the queen of the shepherds was she, and her gown was of velvet as green as the grass, and her buskin did reach to her knee. Her gait it was graceful, her body was straight, and her countenance free from pride. A bow in her hand, and quiver and arrows hung dangling by her sweet side. Her eyebrows were black iron, so was her hair, and her skin was as smooth as glass. Her visage spoke wisdom and modesty too, sets with Robin Hood such a lass. Said Robin Hood, lady fair, whither away? Oh, whither, fair lady, away? And she made him answer, to kill a fat buck, for tomorrow is Titbury Day. Said Robin Hood, lady fair, wander with me a little to yonder green bower. There sit down to rest you, and you shall be sure of a brace or a lease in an hour. And as we were going towards the green bower, 200 good bucks we espied. She chose out the fattest that was in the herd, and she shot him through side and side. By the faith of my body, said bold Robin Hood, I never saw woman like thee. And comest thou from east, or comest thou from west, thou needst not beg venison of me. However, along to my bower you shall go, and taste of a forester's meat. And when we come thither, we found as good cheer as any man needs for to eat. There was hot venison and warden pies cold, cream clotted with honeycombs plenty, and the servitors they were beside little John, good yeomen at least 4 and 20. Clorinda said, tell me your name, gentle sir, and he said, 'tis bold Robin Hood. Squire Gamble's my uncle, but all my delight is to dwell in the merry Sherwood. For 'tis a fine life, and 'tis void of all strife, so 'tis, Sir, Clorinda replied. But oh, said bold Robin, how sweet would it be if Clorinda would be my bride. She blushed at the notion, yet after a pause said, yes, sir, and with all my heart. Then let's send for a priest, said Robin Hood, and be married before we do part. She said, it may not be so, gentle sir, for I must be at Titbury feast. And if Robin Hood will go thither with me, I'll make him the most welcome guest. Said Robin Hood, reach me that buck, little John, for I'll go along with my dear. Bid my yeoman kill 6 brace of bucks, and meet me tomorrow just here. Before we had ridden 5 Staffordshire miles, 8 yeomen that were too bold bid Robin Hood stand and deliver his buck, a truer tale never was told. I will not, faith, said bold Robin, come, little John, stand to me and we'll beat 'em all. Then both drew their swords, and so cut 'em and slashed 'em, that 5 of them did fall. The three that remained called to Robin for quarter, and merciful John begged their lives. When John's boon was granted, he gave them counsel, and so sent them home to their wives. This battle was fought near to Tidbury town, where the bagpipes baited the bull. I am king of the fiddlers, and swear 'tis a truth, I call him the Doubt-Sitter Gull. For I saw them fighting and fiddled the while, and Clorinda sung "Hey, derry down." The bumpkins are beaten, put up thy sword, Bob, and now let's dance into the town. Before we came to it, we heard a strange shouting, and all that were in it looked madly. For some were a bullback, some dancing a Morris, and some singing Arthur a Bradley. And there we see Thomas, our justice's clerk, and Mary, to whom he was kind. For Tom rode before her and called Mary madam, and kissed her full sweetly behind. And so may your worships, but we went to dinner with Thomas and Mary and Anne. They all drank a health to Clorinda, and told her bold Robin Hood was a fine man. When dinner was ended, Sir Roger the parson of Dumbridge was sent for in haste. He brought his mass book, and he bade them take hands, and he joined them in marriage full fast. And then as bold Robin Hood and his sweet bride went hand in hand to the green bower, the birds sung with pleasure in merry Sherwood, and 'twas a most joyful hour. And when Robin came in the sight of the bower, "Where are my yeomen?" said he. And Little John answered, "Lo, yonder they stand, all under the greenwood tree." Then a garland they brought her by two and by two, and placed them at the bride's bed. The music struck up, and we all fell to dance, till the bride and the groom were abed. What they did there must be counsel to me, because they lay long the next day. And I had haste home, but I got a good piece of the bride cake, and so came away. Now out, alas, I had forgotten to tell you that married they were with a ring. And so will Nan Knight or be buried a maiden, and now let us pray for the king, that he may get children and they may get more, to govern and do us some good. And then I'll make ballads in Robin Hood's bower, and sing 'em in merry Sherwood.